Maybe. Good evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joined as always on Tuesdays, we have Rob, Fat Stacks of Comics. How you doing tonight, sir?
Gary, I'm just Ducky, and you, sir?
I am well. I got a little bit of
Oh, that's deep.
I got a little bit of sleep I didn't plan on today. My body said, "Hey, you've had enough this week. Exhaustion's met its limits," and I passed out for about 7 hours. So I am feeling really fresh for tonight's episode. Got the energy working, ready to go. And without further ado, we're gonna bring in our guest over
Ado?
here.
No, more ado.
We might need another second. Looks like
Much,
he's
much,
adjusting,
much
and he's
ado
out.
about nothing.
All right, so CJ's having a little bit of technical problems right now, so we're waiting on him to get all set up. But until then, Rob, what is going on with you this week, sir?
Well, dude, I went to an amazing con this weekend. It was called the Berkeley Comic Show. And it's a little small, like a garage, like, or not a garage, I should say. It's like a gym, like a high school gym type thing, but it's nothing but comic vendors. I mean, the people who organize it, they vet the vendors and they
Right.
rotate, and there's like more vendors who want to get in there than they let in. So they rotate the vendors they do 5 shows a year, and they like rotate the vendors. Like, you can only do so many in a year, so they have fresh comics coming in, and it's just comics. There's not a single pop culture thing, no toys, no none of that stuff. And the last time I went in January, I scored big, and I picked up an ASM 15 for my run, which I was super
Ooh,
happy about. And I went this year, and for my members, I've already posted like the walkthrough of the event, which that'll be going live on Sunday. I'll be posting it up, the walkthrough of the con, and then next Monday will be my haul video instead of my normal mail call. And banger after banger after banger, it was.
nice.
mm, Oh, my mind was blown what I picked up. And there's so much good stuff there. And if I just had more money, I could have brought home with even more stuff.
Right.
You know?
We have an event that happens twice a year here like that. It's called Comic Fest,
Yeah.
and it's run by our buddy Ken Wheaton.
Yeah.
And again, they run it in a community center, a set number of vendors. There's always more vendors that want to get in than can. And you get anything from like primo booths that are just all golden age where don't even go look at it because your wallet will shrivel as soon as you look at a book
Hmm.
to just modern stuff, but mostly a great mix of golden, silver, and bronze all in one spot.
Yeah.
And it's all comics. It's comic focused like the old
Yeah.
shows
This
used
sh-
to
this
be.
show this show, with the exception, I mean, there are some modern variants that are there, but overwhelmingly 75% of the books there are silver to to copper age. And then you have a couple vendors that have some early gold, and you have some guys with a few variant modern variants or keys that are thrown in there, which is kind of cool. But
Nice.
maybe CJ is back.
It looks like it. CJ, if you're ready, throw me a thumbs up in the background, buddy. All right, that's a, he's ready. All right, without further ado, looks like he's got his technical issues all figured out. We are our guest of the hour is Comic Journey himself. We are bringing on the man with the hands. CJ, good evening, sir. How are you, buddy?
I could be better. I could be freaking better. I'll be honest with you. I'm not in the happiest of moods. I got all kinds of technical issues going on. I'm doing this from my freaking phone right now, and the only reason I'm doing it is 'cause it's your show. If it was anybody else, I'd tell them to drop that and leave me alone. But it's your
Now I'm
show,
hurt.
and I'm like, I got my this just like died on me out of nowhere. I got another laptop in front of me that I'm sitting my phone on top of. It's not working either. Should we do 10-1-1 with laptops? Because I got a whole bunch of them that don't work for me right now. So
Watch you destroy him live, right?
I'm so annoyed. I stream all the time. I stream for work. I was streaming all day on Zoom conferences, and now it dies on me. Anyway, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy.
Right?
We're here. We're
Happy
here
little
together.
trees, CJ.
We're here together.
We are going to say hi to the chat, and then we're going to get right back to you and let you introduce yourself. We've had the chat rolling here for a minute, so we got
Just want to let you guys know in advance if there's anybody writing anything in the chat. It's not like I normally just ignore people, but now I just can't see them. So I'm just letting you know I can't see any comments.
He's gone to the next level of ignoring your comments.
There you go.
All right, so we got Las Cruces in as always. First, good evening, sir. Nice to see you. Tony from Comiverse, nice. Good evening, buddy. My buddy Jerry, how you doing, Jerry? Nice to see you, buddy. Collecting with Durs, Adam. Good evening, and we have Naman in here. Good evening, Naman. Nice to see you. John Stout. Good evening. And we have Brian LCS, hashtag look at me. Indeed, Brian, indeed.
Indeed.
Let's see. We are catching up. KBDM, good evening, sir. And we are filling up Warlord, who had a great show last week. Good evening, Warlord. How you doing, bud? Nice to see you. Trev, the shipping guru. Always nice to see you. All right. And filling up. Free Key Louie, singing to you. Look at me. I'm Comic Journey. You know, if Louie's out there, you're going to get a theme song.
Well, I got one already. I got the best one ever.
And looks like we are caught up.
So
Couching and slouching. Good evening, sir. Kylox the Mighty. We had a few coming in. Comics by the Bay. Good evening, Matthew. Signature King. Good evening, nerds. All right, like it. Seth 11. Always nice to see you. All right, so we have got a good show starting already. We already got CJ worked up, but more importantly, this is a show I've been excited for because we all know CJ, but we never get to see his books. So, what are the books that drive him to be
His
in
books.
this?
He does all kinds of unboxings.
He does, but he doesn't really share like what his most important ones are to him. And I'm looking for that. Looking for that insight, like we do on this show. I want to see the books.
That's what this show's
mean
about.
Something to him. He has great unboxings and he doesn't just do an unboxing. He does like a 2-hour mega haul. But CJ, as I like to do with this show, sir, who are you and what's your channel about for anyone that's catching this on the rewind who may not have run into you before, sir?
Well, can we really define my channel? Are we really at the point of being able to define anything with my channel anymore? I mean,
it's copyright strikes.
Well, I am by far the leader in copyright strikes throughout the entire comic book community. That's
true. I've gone to watch your videos before, and it's already gone.
At least 1 to 2 a week, I get taken down. So I have that going for me. Brian, if you're watching, if there's an award for that, this guy.
Right.
So we got that's going on. We do something for the creatures of the night. For the creatures of the night, it's something that we call Insomniac Comic Book Theater. We've been doing that. It's been getting very, very popular with all the people that have insomniac problems. They can't sleep. They come on, hang out. Sometimes we show books. Sometimes we talk pop culture, comic stuff, and sometimes things happen.
You just go off the rails.
Just things happen. So we have that. I've been doing an interview series as well, which I'm very proud of actually, because it's actually a little bit on the more serious side. Because I've been talking to a lot of the influential people in our community, and trying to bring in the larger channels and the smaller channels together in a way where I haven't seen that done before. So I am proud of that because I'm the bridge. I'm the bridge between the haves and the have-nots of the YouTube world. So I'm trying to bring the larger channels small and make everybody familiar, and that's what I do. And I troll people on YouTube.
But nobody does it better, CJ.
So that's what we do, and I correct people. By the way, all right, I'm going to bring this to you. I'm not this 10-1-1. We're going to do show, but I'm going to ask you a real question.
Sure.
All right, because the worm is in here. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a very good question. I'm gonna ask Rob this. At the end of a pre-recorded video, is there anything wrong with writing thank you or saying thank you at the end of the video for
Not
people
at
that are
all.
watching? Common courtesy, right?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Rob, you agree?
I already commented last night on the stream on that. Yeah, I do it all the time. Every single one of mine ends with "Thanks for watching."
So all you freaking bastards that don't say thank you, the thank you police is here. That's another role I play in the community. I'm gonna go to your channel and you're gonna see. You say thank you at the end, or no likes. You're gonna say thank you at the end of the video. That's it. Okay, now we're done.
My rumor has it there's a wide variety of things for people to watch on YouTube. Just a rumor, but they say it. So it's only fitting that if someone wants to take the time to watch this for however long I ramble,
Right.
they deserve at the very least a thank you.
Right. And I think at the end of our videos, no matter what live show we're doing, we thank people for at least a good minute and a half.
Yeah, because it's common courtesy. It's
Right.
common courtesy. That's what you do. You tell people thank you. That's thank you. I appreciate you. You could say any way you like. Gracias. You could say anything you like.
Rob, you and I went to highlight it
I
at the
know.
same time.
CJ's only been wrong once. He's just never stopped.
Never wrong.
Uh,
Believe me. It might come out in a different way, but believe me, there's a lot of wisdom in my words.
That's phenomenal.
absolutely.
All
Well,
right. I think
life
we should get
experience will
kicked
give
off
that
though
to
with
you.
book number 1, Gary.
Do we have a time limit on this?
Well, no, yes, we got to wrap up
Usually
before
45 minutes to an hour 15.
because I'll tell you what happens, CJ. If we go too long, not only does it conflict with other shows, but there's a guy who comes on and does this Insomniac Theater, and he'll get really cranky, and he'll give us a lot of grief for running into his time and blocking him from making $1 gajillion.
Yeah,
And he
well,
won't
the
thank
good
us
thing
after.
about that guy in the Insomniac Theater, he probably stream your stream while he's streaming his stream and commenting on your stream. That's
Right.
possibility.
It could have stranger things have been known to happen.
All
There is
right.
a possibility.
No. There's no rain in. If you have CJ on your show, you know what you're getting. You don't rein him in. You just let him be himself.
I
This
bring the
show's
gazillions of ratings for everybody. Here you go. That's why Gary saved me for life. Because Gary, he decided to invite every single person, all the gazillions of people in the comic community, every single one, except for me. He would save me for last.
Oh no, I got tons more that haven't been on.
Last means this is the last. Gary, I didn't know this. We got canceled.
I have people who want to be on backed up right now, CJ. Like this show has gotten, and thank you to the community, has gotten better response than I ever thought it would. So
Well, they're going to have a hard time following this. I'll tell you that much. So bring your A game, bring your look at me game.
all right,
We're gonna
well,
step
let's
it up
get
a
to your
notch.
first look at me. Let's
All
take
right.
a look at that first book. Oh, you're showing your face, CJ.
That's for you as a gift for the technical issues I did today.
Okay.
All right, you get to see a partial face.
What you don't understand, Gary, is it's actually a digital filter that's
Right.
putting a different face overlaying his
That
actual
Tony
face.
Stark AI going, huh?
Yeah.
All right, because this is supposed to be a look at me for me to share with everybody books that have some kind of significance to me, and to show you a way of collecting. It's hard to pick out of my entire collection. It's like picking out of your children. Which one do you like the best?
That's
I had to pick 12 of my billions of kids. Which one I like the best? So I picked them for a very specific reason. First book that I picked out is this book right here.
Well, let's make you beg because it's your time now. Hold on. All right, so let's take a. Ooh.
Now, why did I pick this book out specifically? There's nothing significant about it as far as the key, as a key value. And there's nothing significant about it as far as the condition itself. Because look at this. This is probably some of the shittiest conditioned comic you could ever see in your life. You see that?
Yeah.
It's falling apart. But you know what's significant about this comic to me? This is my first Silver Age book that I bought.
Oh, wow.
And for some, I don't know how it survived. Look, it's all freaking mangled, all destroyed. brown tape on it. Jerry is salivating right now, watching this right now. Like, look what you could do.
It's too new for him.
Look, as I open this, because I haven't opened this in a while. Look at this. Like little pieces of plastic are falling off the tape. But I genuinely love this comic. Like, genuinely love the comic. I ripped it by accident. I put an extra piece of tape to the top and I taped it incorrectly when I was a kid. And I don't care. I don't want to restore it. I don't want to do anything with this book. I just want to keep it and preserve it in the way that I had it as a kid and I enjoyed it. Story, reading it back after all these years is Swordman. Who gives a crap with the Swordman? But the art is
Okay, the cover's great though. It's it's like very dynamic.
The cover is great. And I just there's something that like really like brings my sentiments out with this book as far as every time I look at it. And because this is a whole thing of telling everybody how I collect. It's not about the values. It's not about the runs. It's not about a lot of things a lot of times. Sometimes it's just this is a piece of history for me in my comic journey. In my comic journey that I'm thankful that survived a lot of the cataclysms that my rest of my collection went through. I lost a lot of stuff through theft, floods, mold attacks, mother attacks, throwing comics in the garbage, and I'm happy to have this one. There's very, very few books that are left from my original collection. This is the one, and that's why I started off with this book.
No, it's great, and that's exactly what this show's about. This show's not about value; it's about
And
value.
I won't even change the plastic.
Wow.
So look, I won't even change the plastic. I don't give a crap. I have it the way I bought it originally. I think I bought it for like $3 when I originally bought it.
And Matt Woods is saying it best here. He says some of our most beloved books are not in pristine condition. Me, Matt, Anachronic Comics. I know Rob over there. We can all agree on that. Comics by the Bay. A book from your childhood is worth more than near mint books. Absolutely.
I mean, this is like wrinklier than a grandma. Look at it.
A near mint book from my childhood is worth a lot more.
And that's the thing with these books too, CJ. I mean, that's why we collect, right? These books have bigger meaning than what a key book is.
All the original yellow stains from the comic on the actual.
Oh yeah, I always love when you can take a backing board and you can read the back of the comic.
Right? It's like transferred over. Like great first book.
Time to change that out. Oh my god.
No, it's not changing out. I'm gonna let this thing decompose in here and stay away forever.
Jerry just DM'd me. He said, by the way, if you need to fix the tape, just use duct tape.
Nope. I was actually thinking about using blue tape with tabs. No good.
Put some pull tabs on it.
No pull tabs on this. I don't know. It's just like it's one of these things that I love. I genuinely love this thing. So there you go.
K-pop and Phil's Treehouse and Izzyverse join us. Good evening, all.
Send CJ some Mylar.
And Avengers is actually one of the first runs of comics that I was collecting and loved reading as a kid. Before the MCU crap, and before I thought Avengers were cool, but
now are you?
What's that?
Are you more of a team book person or?
Yes and no. As far as my team is concerned, Avengers was always my team. But I'm really like a Hulk guy. Like I love the Hulk. Like that was and another reason why I gravitated to the Avengers, because the Hulk was a major component in a lot of it. When I was like, I didn't realize that like throughout the whole run, he's actually the least focused member out of the entire original run.
Yeah, he's much more in Defenders. He's more up, but
yeah, which I started reading Defenders later on. But the few issues that I was picking up in the beginning when I was a kid actually had the Hulk in it, so I just thought he was in every single book as I was collecting. So it's cool. I don't know. Hulk is my. I like the Hulk. Leave me alone. You won't like me when I'm angry. He has a very good. He has a very good mantra. I love loners that like they're nice people, but if you get them angry, they'll smash you. I love that whole concept.
All right. Yeah, it's a great concept, and they did Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde better than Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde did because he's still around and talked about.
You better
And
believe it. And Lou Ferrigno played a big role in my life as far as that was concerned as well, because
and still looking great at his age too, Lou
you
Ferrigno.
better believe it.
All right, number two, sir.
Number two, since we're on the Avengers, I'm going to show you. Again, this thing is not about value. This is not about like, ooh, look at the grails I have. But this is my the Avengers book that I'm most proud of as far as being in pristine condition. It's something that for me is a rarity because I'm a low grade collector.
Hmm.
Right.
Unless it's like modern stuff. The old stuff I have, most of it is like mid grade, lower stuff like that. So this is something that I was able to pick up off a purchase, like from somebody that I met through eBay, and I was able to go to his house and actually cherry pick some like stuff that I really really like. One, I think this is one of the most iconic Avengers covers ever.
Right.
Two,
It has the Avengers assemble right there, front and center, with Cap screaming it.
absolutely, it's a very significant book that people don't even know about. It's number 16. It's the first time that you have the complete upheaval of the Avengers, and all that's left is Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Hawkeye. Cap's quirky quartet. Yeah,
And
that's what
that is a quirky ensemble.
it definitely is. Going from the Hulk and Giant Man and Iron Man and Thor to these four. What the hell is this? Like and they didn't even Scarlet Witch wasn't even Scarlet Witch at that time. She was like some weird witch that didn't even know how to control her power. It was really good, but the condition of this book is so beautiful. I mean, it's I keep fighting myself. Should I send this in to grade it and just to encapsulate it in the condition that it's in, which I think I should. Um, and then I don't want to send it in because I like it so much. I don't want them to ruin it. I'm afraid of a CGC. So I don't know what to do with this. So this is like a book that's probably definitely over a 9.0 as far as grading. And for getting a
Right.
silver age key like that and over a 9.0, I'm very proud of that, having this book. I have other books in this age era that are in good condition, but nothing that has any significance. And one that I actually generally like. I love the purples. I love the Captain America on here. I love the Avengers symbols. I love all the
I
weird
was
characters you have in the background.
I was gonna say I've always been a sucker when you have the main character in front and you have like a collage in the back. I don't know why it always works for me.
It was a big Silver Age gimmick that they did in the past, and then you throw a little bit of purple in there. It just pops. It makes everything just. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It looked like it was printed yesterday. So I love it.
Beautiful book, CJ,
I
Wow.
and
hate.
it looks great in
I,
that top loader too. So
yeah, I hate top loaders
Mhm.
in general
yeah,
because
because it's hard to get your damn book out. I
yeah,
always feel like I'm gonna damage the book when I try to get it out of a top loader.
if I put this thing in a top loader, I don't think it'll ever come back out. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, that's
Never had a
Avengers.
never had a problem as long as you use the right size top loader to the bag and board. But
Well,
you ever think about doing maybe if as an interim in between thing, doing a
son of a bitch, you saw my face.
slap it yourself?
All right,
Uh-oh.
Hey, how you doing?
I
So
think he just
anyways,
exited himself by accident. So we'll wait a second till CJ's
yeah.
back. We already got two bangers of books though for 1 and 2. And I don't know, great books to start out with. CJ's always bringing it. We'll catch up with the Jerry as he's
There he
back
is.
already.
I'm freaking back. This freaking,
You're good, CJ. No worries, buddy.
I'm a
This
mess, man. I'm a mess
you're
today.
fine. Let's
All
go
right,
with your number 3, buddy.
book number 3. Since we were talking about Hulk, I'll show you what I like about the Hulk.
Oh, awesome.
This is my Hulk 102. I don't believe I don't believe I'm going to be in a position to get like a real one of these anytime soon, or I'm too cheap to get a real one of these
Right.
anytime soon. So I have this as a placeholder, but this is the book that like I feel that it needs to be the basis and the beginning of my whole collection. What are they writing about me? They're talking about
Matt
my.
Wood says, "Darn it, CJ just broke my second television. He needs to stop showing his face."
Because they made a
Right,
reference
Matt
earlier on
Woods.
that you had broke their television for the first time when you, yeah,
Hey, keep going on that book. It's sweet.
yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
So the cool thing is, it's part of the big premiere issues that you had at that point. You had Captain America that came out with the number 100. You had Iron Man 1, Submariner 1. And for one weird reason or another, they actually decided to follow Tales Astonish at 102 instead of starting them all over again,
Right.
which I never quite understood that. They only did that with Captain America and with Hulk. Um, it kind of feels like I have a weird void from 6 to 102 why they did that, but I feel like forget about the history. This is where we start, and that's why I
Right.
have this book in my collection. I like the fact that I was able to get a copy that has this like little Hulk thing on top of the grade. Like a lot of people don't know, this is not an original story that's in here. That's why I didn't even care if it was slapped or not, because it's an origin. It's a
Reprint.
reprint of the origin. So for me, it's all about the cover with this and having a decent grade book in my collection to have my foundation for a Hulk. I have almost an entire original Hulk run, other than the 1 through 6. So
But
one
that's
day
one of the most iconic covers too. Like when you think of Hulk history, that's one of the covers that pops into your head.
it is, and it's one of the ones that I don't know. I don't know why Hulk never got as much love as other characters did. I really didn't. I really don't know why that was the case. Um, Always was one of those books that people neglected. He always was an A-tier character, but always overlooked. I don't know why, but
So I got
it
to ask you though, CJ, because I part of the attraction to the Hulk is the savage nature and the duality of man and beast, right? And
mhm.
so, what do you think about what they've done with him lately, where they've kind of made him all soft and mellow and not really a Hulk?
Well, first of all, I'm not a big fan of Space Hulk, so
Yeah.
let's make that clear. That's the Hulk is not Space Hulk. I believe that Hulk needs to be a force of nature when
Yes.
he's the Hulk. He's something that people have to gingerly walk by, and like almost like you're walking by a lion that's like sitting in the jungle. You don't want to really like mess with it. You don't want to go and like poke it and do anything.
Yeah, you
That's
don't
how
want
the
to poke
Hulk
the
should be.
bear.
Leave him on his island. Don't bother him, because if you do bother him, he's gonna smash you. You
I'm
know?
really go ahead.
Well,
I'm
that's
sorry.
the thing. He should always feel like a threat at any second.
Exactly, exactly. That's what he's meant to be, and always have that duality of him. Because if you think about it, Bruce Banner is really a psychopath. Like if you really think about it, he's got like real psychological issues.
Right.
He's got multiple personality disorder. He's a very very damaged human being. Really really damaged. They don't focus on that enough anymore. Peter David dove into that really well. They used to dive into it here and there with a few different runs. I think the Planet Hulk and the World War Hulk series actually really brought out a lot of those elements as well.
And that's why I
Uh,
liked his latest Maestro series too, because it's a different. It's that Hulk older, and just realizing that there's nothing more powerful than him.
well, notice who's writing that.
Yeah, Peter David. Yep.
And that's basically what it comes out to. It comes that you have to have the right writer on Hulk. Hulk is one of those characters that you can't just throw anybody on there. It's like almost like Superman. Superman is a very difficult character to write. How do you write somebody that's unstoppable? You got to be
Right.
an intelligent and clever writer to write. Same thing with the Hulk.
What's crazy to me about this book is this. So this is 1968. This is essentially the first book in the
Mhm.
Incredible Hulk run, his own series title run. And you're talking about this book at a 6.5. That's a great presenting looking book. It's a great thing to get into. It's a book that I just looked it up. Recent sales last month. That was sold for less than $200, and
Blows
that
you away. I bought this for like 325 when I bought it.
yeah, and even still, that you would think that would be you'd be
That's an
for
undervalued
that
key.
book. You should be picking that. That's a book you're picking up a 2.0 or a 3.0. But instead, the reality is you can get even in the sevens and whatnot, and $300 these days, and
Where
that's
if you
crazy.
where if you pick up a 6.5 Iron Man one from the same exact year, or a 6.5 Submariner up, they're
Well,
a lot more.
I'll tell you that. Well, the Submariner actually has dropped dramatically after the
Still
movie.
worth more than this.
No, no, actually, I just
You think
sold.
so?
I just sold my 7.5, and I tell you,
For 200?
well, no, no, oh no, it's worth more than that. But the
Oh,
7.5 sold for 450.
wow. Should
That's
have told me about it. I might have picked it up from you.
yeah, well,
That's
whatever.
the only one
But
from that big premiere series that I don't have
yeah, oh
yet.
yeah, no. But that's a great book.
We
I
got
now
Matt Woods agreeing with you too.
I'm not a
Never
Hulk
understood why
guy, but
102 is so cheap.
I'm not a Hulk guy, but when I start realizing books like that are so significant in reality are that price, you start going, hmm,
You
maybe
know,
it needs to go on my
I
radar.
I'm not using this book as the spec book of the
No,
10-year-old,
no,
but you know what? If you find a 6.5 or over for $200, I think it's a no-brainer.
yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
think
He's
it's
kind
a
of like that's
no-brainer.
like the Rodney Dangerfield of comics right there.
Makes no sense. And, Captain America 100 doesn't get any love either. It's very similar to this.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Well, Captain
collecting's
Marvel,
weird.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel, there's a lot of other reasons why.
just teasing. All
Yeah.
right, cool, awesome though.
Right. So we got that.
All right, so number 4, buddy.
Number 4. I'm glad you're keeping count.
I write it
Okay.
down because otherwise I get so caught up in the books and the stories that I'll lose track of where we are.
All right. So Rob will probably like this one. I brought one more from my original
Oh
collection.
yeah,
The reason I have this book is because this is actually a great representation of how I used to collect, like what I used to do to collect. This actually, you're gonna cringe again. It's in the original plastic, the way I bought it from the comic shop. It's one of my favorite comics as far as the cover is concerned. It's the first Amazing Spider-Man that I ever bought. That was a back issue. That wasn't a current issue. And the reason I brought this one specifically, this is what I used to do with all my comics. I used to, every time I would get a comic, I would take it and I would take it to the copy machine and pay a nickel. And I used to make a copy of it in black and white in the back. Sometimes, if it came out nice, I would try to sit there and color it myself and stuff like that. So it's a weird way I used to collect. I don't know if anybody out there is as weird as I am as far as doing that. But I used to like that, and I always like to leave the prices on the back of it. So I bought this back in the early '90s
Right.
for $8,
Nice.
which
That was a good deal.
not for back then though. That was expensive for back then.
It
yeah.
was.
It was a very different time, but that's a great. That is one of when you get those the early 100s. I mean, I've said it. I think that Jr. Senior is without a doubt my favorite cover artist for Amazing Spider-Man, bar none.
Same.
And there are certain covers that just jump out. And this is one of those ones where this cover far surpasses the original first appearance of Mysterio cover. And there's certain ones that are that just resonate in my head. This is one, the first Man Mountain Marco, or the first, Medusa, the Medusa cover, these types where the villain is just really large and present and in your face. Just John Romita did such a great job with those covers.
There's not much you could say other than it was probably one of the best runs in the Silver Age.
Oh,
You know, I have a hard time seeing any other run other than possibly the Kirby Stanley run of Fantastic Four for about 30, 40 issues where everything was pristine as far as the art on Kirby before he got like disgruntled. Um, those two are the best series that I think as far as art and writing combined in any series, Marvel or DC.
now who's your favorite Silver Age artist, CJ?
My favorite Silver Age artist. It's funny because I'm not a huge fan of Kirby. I'm really not. I respect what he does. I like the fact that anything that you have as Kirby would be very identifiable, and I love being able to identify any piece of art to any artist at any given time. So I like that very much. I think I would probably a cross between Romita and Bushima.
Oh, see, yep, Buscema's mine.
You know,
Love John Buscema.
I think I have a hard time picking one or the other between them because they both have great art that I think that can translate to almost any character.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
I think John Romita and Bushima could draw any character and not miss a beat. You
Right,
know,
and I think the two artists that followed in their footsteps were Lopez and Byrne,
very close. Yeah.
and Neil Adams as well.
Hmm. Well, the thing with Neil Adams, he had a more slender look. He wasn't as boxy as early Bushima stuff. You know, obviously Spider-Man is a slender dude, but when you see him do more muscular guys, you could see like the definition. Neil Adams had a lot more. You know, he was like a cross between a Buscema and a Ditko even because Ditko was famous for that like super slender look on all of his characters. So,
Right.
but I love these characters. I mean,
Yeah.
they're the
Well,
best.
they're the cornerstone of comics. All right, number 5, buddy.
Number 5. All right, so this one again, back to back. I like to be themed. I'm a theme kind of guy.
You
This
got
this
a shop
one,
saying if you show too much of yourself, he's going to redo your shop verse pick.
no, Daniel. By the way, he did the best profile of me.
Oh, it was amazing. He's done some great stuff. I
I
thought
gotta
yours was that he did was so clever.
spot on,
Yeah.
spot on. I got to figure out how to incorporate it in all my branding because now I'm a brand, you know. But I got to figure out how to be able to do that. So, but I love it. I love it. So it's another thing that I love. Inspired by guys like Rob and everybody else in the comic community, and at the same time that I'm a real um, I'm a sucker for a deal. If I could find a
Right.
good deal for something, I'm gonna pick it up. I had picked this up.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
The Enforcers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
in really solid shape except for this right here,
Mm-hmm.
which is irritating the hell out of me because it's like ink.
Right.
Jerry, you watching? So we got some ink here, and I don't know how to. I got to play around I got to figure out. I got to go to my special jitterbug specialist to ask him some questions on this.
I was gonna say we need a collaboration between you and Jerry. That would be great YouTube.
Oh, I definitely am. I have a bunch of books that I'm gonna take over to him. I got a couple things I talked to him about,
Talking hands.
but this is my oldest Amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a key. It's a key, people. It's the first Enforcers.
Yep.
So you got to know that. These are important things because, we got to know where our gazillions are. So I got this. One of the things that I don't know if it was good price for today, but I got this at the peak, at the absolute peak of the FOMO freak out mania, as far as people completely overpaying for everything.
Right.
And I had gotten this for $100 shipped
That's not bad.
for back then.
Even
And they were going for $200-300. You found some gnarly ones for like $200-300.
And it's tough
Yeah.
with Spider-Man because anytime anything goes up, Spider-Man just goes right through the roof.
well, plus it's a first 10 issues of volume 1, so it's the most affordable of the lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now, if you're looking at the current market pricing, a fair to pour raw is around $127 with a good range 1.5 to 2.5 good raws in the $250 range, with graded over 300 in that range. So that's paying $100 is a good deal even right now.
So that's why I pulled it out, and just to show something to everybody. even in the craziest of markets, you could buy correctly.
Yes.
Like I felt confident in myself, even at that price, at that point, in the freak out mania of COVID and quarantine and the end of the world is going to happen and we're going to lose all our comics. Even in that time period, I was able to find a book like this at that price, and I use it almost like a badge of honor. Like, and I take books like this a lot of times when I do my unboxings. I don't. A lot of times I take more pride as far as getting a great deal for what I
Mhm.
buy
Yeah.
over what I'm actually opening
Absolutely.
up. And I try to relay that message back to everybody whenever I do unboxing. You got to buy right, whether you're buying from an eBay or you're buying from a whatnot or a auction. Don't get me started on the auction. We got Mercaris and whatever they are. Buy it right, and you won't lose. Like right now, the market's beat to hell. I'm still at my money. I didn't lose out of it. Like I would have been devastated if this book I bought it for $200 and now I could find it for $100. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
No,
I
only
could
if
have
they're
gotten
gonna
two
try
of
to
them.
sell it, but
No, it's not about getting like I don't really sell my. I only sell like a new stuff that I have.
right.
Like,
What I'm saying
like
is, if you bought it at a price, I mean, yeah, okay, you could have got it for less, maybe if you buy everything at the right time. But at the end of the day, you bought it because you wanted it. You still have it. It's still that book.
it
It's just
makes
like,
me happy. It
yeah,
makes
there
me
you go.
happy that I got because I'm a cheap bastard and I'm happy that I got my money's worth out of it.
No,
And that's
absolutely.
And
and
not only that, CJ, I don't know about you, but some of my favorite Spider-Man stories from back in the day were the street level stories, like when he's fighting the Enforcers and Tombstone, Gargoyle, Ringmaster, villains like that. Some of those stories were the most fun.
I was really really nervous about this book as far as being able to find 1 through 10 issue at any affordable price.
Yeah, there's
Now I'm starting to
only
see them.
there's only 3 issues that are generally reasonable in the sub 10, and that's 7, 8, and 10.
Yeah. So maybe I'll start going under single digits soon. But I have a lot of this series. I
Yeah.
have I have almost the entire run after this number. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm down after that number, I'm down to only 1 issue left.
so
All right,
yeah,
number six, buddy.
I'm not going to compare myself to you or Chris, the comic vet.
Well, Chris is done with his sub 50 run, so the only thing he's waiting on, he still needs to get is his the annual one.
He'll find it. That one's dropped down a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what number are we up to?
Number 6.
All right. I want to make sure we stay in theme. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you 2 things together. Okay.
Yep.
The reason I'm bringing them up is because they both fit in the same category, and because we're following Spider-Man, I need to show you them together. These are the 2 most iconic covers for me and favorite comics as far as making me feel Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Well, obviously the first Kingpin definitely, and then you get your.
The reason I love this cover more than anything else is I grew up watching the Spider-Man cartoon.
Okay.
And the first image I remember as a kid was this Spider-Man going
Yep, swinging in.
Spider-Man. Now we're gonna give you a copyright strike. So I'm not gonna sing the rest of the song, but this image for me was my childhood. It was by far the image that I love more than anything else. And this was the most iconic cover. And these are strictly. I mean, yes, this is a key. It's Kingpin's first appearance.
They're
Doesn't
both
matter
keys.
to me. What's that?
They're both keys because the other one is your first Max Gergen, whatever, who becomes the Scorpion.
Yeah, I don't even care about that. I didn't even know
Issue
that.
20, he becomes a Scorpion. In issue 19 here, they introduce him as a character first.
I didn't. Oh, plus look.
There's your Enforcers again.
The forces are here too.
Ties it all together.
Yeah,
But you're right, though, CJ, because when you think of that old cartoon, like him swinging on the screen in that exact kind of like frame always sticks in your head.
I had to track this book down only for this. Only for this. That was the only reason I wanted it. It's iconic. It's my childhood, and it makes me want to sing the Spider-Man song every
Right.
single time I get the keyboard. Thank you. I didn't even realize it. I think it says it here. I don't know.
Your
Like I
Mac
said,
Mac
I bought this
Guardian.
for the cover, strictly for the cover. And this, yeah, it's Kingpin. It's actually something. But I bought this as a kid. This one I bought as a kid. Anything you see slab that I have, it's not something I slab myself. I have never. I haven't sent a CGC submittal in myself yet. I did send two comics in through my comic shop to do a test run from, but it's nothing like nothing of this nature. Um, that's it. You know, see, that was easy. That was a short.
Whenever you're
Pick.
ready, I will start your path down the dark side. Uh, yeah, the reality, CJ, is there's only one Spider-Man theme song,
Is
and
it really?
yeah, there's only one. All the others are pale imitators. The one that we grew up on, that from that late '60s, that was the only Spider-Man theme song. Everything else is just garbage.
I've liked a lot of
You,
the theme
you,
songs.
you see the mess I
Yeah.
have in the background? That's all unboxings that I'm recording, and who knows when they'll all be released.
Right. Nice. All right, number 7, but he
There
dropped
we
his
go.
camera. All right, there we go. Number 7, sir.
I keep forgetting. I keep your channel PG or Gary. You know. All right,
It's a live
7.
show. There's no limits on this, buddy. Ooh, look at
So
that. I've
this
never
is
seen that cover.
well, you're not going to see it very often. Look at this. He's beating the crap out of his kids. He's like, you listen to me, and then she's like, no, don't hit me, don't hit him. And that's because that's what moms did. Like they stood behind and let the kids
Right.
get. This is perfect 50s. And it's man comics, because manly men beat up their kids. So that's what we have on the cover. And it is my by far favorite, favorite, favorite for a lot of different reasons. One, favorite Golden Age book that I own in my possession. But there's a lot of reasons. One, it's Man Comics. I don't think they'll ever make another title called Man Comics again.
Yeah,
Right.
well, it pairs nicely with boy comics.
That's true. That's true. Don't get me started, Rob.
Anyway, CJ.
Actually, I'm sorry, boy comic illustories.
Yeah. This title will never be made again. I
No.
promise you. They're never going to make another Man Comics. And I'm a very I got a twisted way of collecting. I like stuff that is inappropriate to exist and stuff like that to be in my collection. I like politically incorrect stuff. I like stuff that was from another time and era that is made and it will never be made again. I just like having one of a kind kind of things.
Right.
And this might not be one of a kind, but there's only 6 on the census in this grade or above. There's nothing else. There's a few that are 1.5, 2 point something. In this grade, they're very hard to find.
And that
Very hard.
presents way above that. Holy cow, that book presents well.
I mean, it's possible that if you open it up and do stuff to it, then maybe it'll become better. I'm not even touching it. I mean, you can see there's some waves and it's a little dark and
Learn to play the clarinet.
you can use a cleaning and stuff like that.
You got Man Book. Learn to play the clarinet.
Right, exactly. I'm slapping my kid because I got forced to learn how to play the clarinet.
Artie Shaw's color key clarinet. Wow.
We got Psychedelic saying that was a good old day. So I remember a friend's house in the 70s when the boys lined up for dad's belt. Yikes. Be a man, have a heart attack.
So besides all the things that are wrong on the cover, we got the clarinet ad on the back. So there's a lot of things that are like wrong that are going on with this book that are so right.
I like in the old books too how they weren't afraid to put a lot of text on the covers.
Oh no! Look, they put the whole story of the world here on the cover. They're telling you everything. There's nothing left for surprise. And it's real stories. They're not the fake stories. They're real stories from the inside files.
So you got one
Well,
guy who's drunk slapping his kid, another kid down below getting beaten. The top one, what's he doing? Grooming somebody or what? I mean,
the man who didn't count. Look at this. He's insignificant.
right. What's the top one?
The top one is also in this issue the soul searching history of Kenneth Barkley, the boy from Wyoming whose problem seemed to have no solution. What's that problem? I don't know. We got to read to find out. He shamed his entire family. He shamed his entire family with his problem.
Where are those files kept, Jerry the Jitterbug ass?
Don't miss his actual tale of adventure, conflict, and far west. The man who didn't count.
I'm sorry I asked. All right.
I would love to be able to find this. Like I haven't found this yet, as far as being able to read a digital copy or something like this from it. I would love to be able to read it and actually get a copy or
So
make
you're saying
photocopies.
you don't think they'll have a reprint of it coming out soon, CJ?
I don't think. I don't know.
What issue is that one?
Oh,
And
Rob's
it's
asking what
52
issue that
pages.
is.
That's pretty impressive for back then. 52 pages.
No, it's pretty standard. What was the issue number?
Number one. Number one.
Nice.
I love
Well,
it.
CJ, that's awesome. That's a book I have never seen. I didn't even know that book existed.
I figured I'd throw something in there that it's a little different. You know, I didn't want to throw Marvel to you and stuff like that. I collect everything. I don't collect only Marvel and stuff like that, but I figured a lot of people will understand my way of collecting through my Marvel books a little easier than through my indie books.
Yeah,
My
but
indie
the
collection.
eclectic stuff is really cool too, though.
My what?
The eclectic stuff.
Oh,
Like I have a lot of eclectic stuff in my collection, but it's cool because that's things that exist that you really can't get anymore, and just to have it is something.
believe me, I could do not a 10-1 I could do 100-1 with some of the weird stuff that I have in my collection.
Oh well, we're now you said it. We're going to get you back for a weird episode.
If you want, I'll do a all weird comic episode for you because
All right, we'll schedule it up.
it might freak some people out, but yeah, I got some cool stuff.
Oh no, now it's got to happen. All right, number 8, sir.
Number eight. Since we're on the Golden Age theme, I'm going to show you my oldest Marvel book.
Ooh. There you go.
Nice.
So this is Submariner. It's a 0.5, but I don't care. I bought it for $50, which again feeds my cheapness. I bought this for $50 on eBay. Doesn't have a back cover.
Beautiful.
It's missing a back cover, but I get to see this Hercules kind of guy over here on the background. So we have that. It is prior to Marvel becoming Marvel. It was still an Atlas book,
Right.
and the covers. Just look at this cover. Look how sharp this cover is for a 0.5.
Right. It's incredible.
Well, it's because that missing back cover that knocks it down so far.
You know, if I could find books like this for $50 all day, every day, I'd be buying them. I'll get the whole collection like this if I could. You know, it's not going to happen, but I love this stuff. Like I love superheroes beating up on Nazis. I love old vintage war pictures of superheroes. Like I was never a big fan of just straight war books. But I always was a big fan when superheroes would go beat up the other armies. Invader stuff, Captain America stuff. Even some of the time where you see Superman go and beat up like the communists and the Nazis. I love that kind of stuff because it doesn't belong. Like if we had a Superman, there would be no war. You know,
Right.
it feels so comical that you have these characters going and fighting the enemy. And we actually still had a war. It would have been done in a day, having these characters. So I find it comical.
I was always a sucker too for like the paranormal, like when they do like weird war stories and stuff like that. I always thought were a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I don't like the straight war covers, like war books
or GI Combat stuff like that.
Yeah, I was never a big fan. Even like Sergeant Rocks, and I was never a big fan of that stuff. But I liked when they mixed the different genres together. I always love that. And look how yellow this is. Like for a book that's beat the crap and has no back cover, it's a pretty damn sharp looking front page.
Right, you have
For a
like
cover.
80 in the front and nothing in the back. And the back doesn't matter because what you want is what presents up top.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm happy with this. And then like this, like when I go down to Heroes Con, this is the kind of weird crap I'm gonna be looking for.
Oh,
You
I
know,
think
I
you
can't.
got a $50 steal there, buddy.
No, I don't think I'm gonna find it for $50, but I'm just saying, like I'll be looking for stuff like if it's missing a back cover and I could get it for like a incredible price, I don't care. I'm buying it, like stuff like that. Yeah, it's a nice wall hanger, and
Oh, it definitely is.
and plus it's my oldest Marvel book. I also look at it like that. Like I'd like to get some timelies as well. That's one of the things I really want to incorporate in my collection. I don't have any timelies, so I have I have Atlas. I have when Marvel. I think in between Timely and Atlas went through a time period having like some weird Marvel stamp. I have a couple of no, actually, was that after Atlas? I think it was after Atlas. I don't know, but this is the oldest one I have. So
Now, were you a fan of Astonishing Tales with him and the Hulk?
yeah, I was. I was, although I felt like Hulk was always disrespected because he should have had his own book. He shouldn't have shared a book with somebody else.
Right.
No, if it was Tales of Astonishing, it was only the Hulk feature, no problem.
Well,
But yeah,
I thought Namor and the Hulk, at least to me, when Namor was done, what I thought was right. The thing they shared in common is whenever you see Namor or the Hulk, like we talked about earlier, they should feel like an instant threat.
they should. I mean, look at this guy. He's Imperious Rex. This guy's no joke. This guy's gonna come out of the water, and you better not pollute his water because he's gonna give you a
Right, he's going to
pounding for it.
annihilate you.
You know. There's another thing that also attracts me to Submariner that kind of as a kid, my background is Greek. So any type of characters that I could somehow associate my heritage and my culture through, I would love. I loved Hercules. I loved
Right.
Wonder Woman. I loved Shazam because of all the Greek gods that would infuse him with his powers. And Atlanteans, I always felt gravitated to because Atlantis is from Greek mythos. So I always felt like he's like one of my own characters, which is why I got annoyed when they changed him completely in the movie. But we're not going to go there today. But I like everybody has their weird associations with characters.
Right.
That was one of my weird association with this character and other like characters like that. So we all grasp to try to find something we connect with, and that's basically what I connected with.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, number 9, bud.
Number 9. All right, so it would be all you DC fans. Jackass, you're not showing any DC books. Yeah, I got the DC, and I got the best DC book ever, ever. It's not the ultimate key of the character. I have that one too, but this is my favorite cover ever with my favorite DC character,
The main man.
the main man, drawn by Simon Beasley. Look at that! Look at that detail right there. He's like biting his lip. He's like so angry. Like he's like me. Like whenever I get angry, I bite my lip and blood
It
comes
looks like
out.
he's trying to hold back and not succeeding right there.
No, he's not succeeding at all. I like the jet black cover that it has. And yeah, it's not Omega Man #3. I have that. I hate that cover. To be quite honest with you, I don't think it's reflective of the Lobo I love.
Right.
Uh, this is the Lobo I love. This is the Lobo I was reading when I was a kid. This is the one that I truly enjoy. I love the blood splatter 99 cents that's on the top of it. This is everything about it, and I'm so freaking happy I bought this before this stupid movie news came out and rumors about Lobo and everything like that. I'm so happy that I did that. I bought it because I wanted it, and it's my favorite character.
Well, the good news is with James Gunn at the helm, he won't be kidified. He'll just be brutal.
I hope so. I don't have that much faith in James Gunn, but as far as longevity. I think his first few projects are gonna be good, and then corporate's gonna get involved and screw it up. But hey, it is what it is. Here's a blast from the past.
Oh
Anybody
wow,
remember
yep.
this? Lynx, the Game Boy Lynx. I don't know. It's just this strictly nostalgia. My favorite DC character. I told you Hulk is my favorite Marvel character. Hulk supersedes him, but he's a close second.
Nice.
And it's a DC book. All you people that said DC haters, I like DC books, just good ones, not the
And he
bad ones.
always kind of had that like Kiss makeup thing on, you know.
Well, yeah, you can't go wrong with that. You
All
know?
right,
What
number
number are
10,
we up
sir.
to? We're up to number 10. You know, all right. So let's do this. Let me. I'm gonna do this one because
Oh,
this is something that's cool to me. This is the boys' number one. This is, I believe, the second printing. Yes, it is second printing. And it's signed by Garth Ennis.
wow.
Now, why do I like it? I didn't know anything about the boy. This is the first time I ever watched any kind of comic related genre, movie, show, anything without having read the book before. First time I ever did that. So I watched the series. I'm like, this is demented. I got to read what's going on with this comic.
Right.
Slowly but surely, I was picking up some books. I got a couple of reprints or whatever the case is. For people that have like are squeamish and you don't like gruesome stuff and like highly sexualized stuff and like very adult content, don't read this book. It's not for you.
No, it's worse than the show.
Oh my god. Yeah, oh my god. For me to say it got me like what just happened? That it's one of those books like what just happened here. It makes you cringe a little bit. It's a little demented and it's very Garth Ennis, and that's what I like about it. Garth Ennis, a lot of people like to harp on what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank right now? The writer for Watchmen. What's his name?
More.
Alan
Yeah,
Moore.
Alan Moore. Everybody loves to talk about how like a little warped he is, a little crazy he is, and stuff like that. Yeah, he's publicly a little crazy and stuff like that. This guy, I think, is a sick human being. Garth Ennis. The stuff that he writes between Preacher, between the one shots that he writes, between all this crazy stuff, the stuff that comes out of this guy's mind, it's truly demented. And I like to read it. Maybe I'm more demented than him because I actually read it. So I enjoy this a lot, and I like the fact that I have a signature of his here on here. So
You know what I should do is I should send you the coin that came with that.
there was a coin that came with this.
Yeah, there's a 1 in 1,000, or one. There was 1,000 of these little collector's coins with the art done on it that were done up that came with that book.
No, I didn't even know that. That's pretty good. You know what came with this book? You're gonna love this.
Some Rob Fat Stat stickers.
No, look at this. You're gonna love this. I'm actually in the process of trying to remove this. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that lovely?
That
They
must have-
stuck a sticker right on the freaking slab.
Oh, that one didn't come from me then. Okay.
They stuck a sticker. No, this doesn't come. I didn't get this from I had gotten
Who
this a
puts a
while ago.
sticker on a slab?
Son of a bitch. That's what happened. That's who puts it on there. Like, what the hell? Like, why would you do that?
Right.
Don't
It
do
makes no
anything.
sense.
And
They
I'm
should-
sitting there. I had to do this and take it off slowly. And now I gotta sit there. I gotta soak it to get it all off.
Just try a little bit of take a little bit of goof off on a paper towel and
I did in the beginning. That's how I got the majority off. Now I'm at the point where I need to be gentle with it so I don't scratch this stupid case.
Now you need Jerry to direct you.
get it reholdered.
I might have to be honest with you. It's so annoying.
Yeah, no.
I hate people. What the hell? They send me like eBay. Love the eBay. That's it
Right.
is what.
When you can someone send you a golden age book in a bubble mailer. Like
Dude,
it's
that's the
okay.
only. I think that's the only way they come. It seems to be to me.
Right.
Every
What?
Golden Age book I comes in a freaking envelope or a bubble mailer these
Yeah,
days.
your guys don't send them in cereal boxes to you?
Right.
I wish.
No,
I remember your cereal box. That was crazy.
you don't get any of that action going on. Don't get me started on packaging. I got some of the most warped
Yeah,
packaging
you
you could
people
ever
are the
get.
best. Yeah. All right, number 11 with a personal story attached, CJ.
Okay, so this is the personal story one. Okay, okay. So this is why I struggled before that. This is my personal book. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I remember that.
A lot of people are going to say to themselves, "What the hell is this? This is a stupid reprint. Why do you like this book?" Well, one, I'm a huge Hulk fan. Now, unfortunately, this is not my original book. I had to buy this out again. My original book actually was a newsstand on this, and I read it a gazillion times. And since I got this copy, I've read this a gazillion times too. And I'm going to try to find one actually that I could find in pristine shape because it's one of these few things that I actually would like to get slabbed because of this.
Oh
You see
yeah,
that
the wraparound cover is amazing.
John Byrne cover. I don't know why he didn't do more of this work. He did do a run of Hulk, and he did a lot of X-Men, but I don't know why they didn't do more incorporations of this stuff, like with him drawing and more of that. I loved John Byrne's cover. This is what introduced me to Hulk 181, and when I thought this was my Hulk 181. That's what I thought it was, a 181 as a kid.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, that was my first version of it.
Yeah,
Even
I didn't.
Silver Knight Kyle saying that you have an original Herc story in the back too.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I opened it up to not only show you the cover, to show you that there's actually a original Hercules story. Plus, there's a few like letters that were sent into Hercules and Logan together.
Oh
So
wow.
anybody that, yeah, like a lot of people don't know this. These $2 specials. There were a lot of them that came out during that time period. There was a Fantastic Four one. There was an X-Men that reprinted Giant Size X-Men that also had another story in the back, and they actually had the whole layout of the X Mansion and all that stuff. There's a lot of them that were really really cool. The Silver Surfer one. I'm trying to get them all. There was Doctor Strange as well. But this like was so important to me as a kid. I don't think if I didn't pick up this book as a kid, I don't think I would have been a comic book collector.
Wow. So
I,
that
I
that's
don't I
significant for
don't think I would have been. I mean, I might have read some comics here and there, but I don't think I would have been so engaged by this. I don't think I would have read. This was my first introduction to any X Men. I never read an X Men book before I had this. All I knew was Hulk and Avengers and Spider Man. Those were the characters I knew. So this introduced me to the X Men in a way. So I started looking for Wolverine kind of stuff, and it just like it really really I love this series more than anything. Like I've been trying to put like I had in my original collection the original 180 and 181 and 182. So now I'm like in the position of trying to regroup them. Like I got like the 180 right now without a coupon. I don't care if I get them all with the coupon. But I don't know. This is will be a forever book for me. Like I could read it right now and not have an issue reading it again, and I'll
right.
read it again and I'll read it again. And you know the story. If you look at it from a technical writing point of view, it wasn't a great story. It wasn't a great story at all. But it just tugs at every single like nostalgic chord in my heart that I have
Right.
to keep. For me, this is my Hulk 181. Like again, and the cover, like I said, ideally I want to get two high grade books of this to be able to slab, and I'm gonna put them next to each other so they could look like a display of the cover.
Right. No, that's awesome.
We'll see if we're gonna be able to find that, but that's That's my personal story one.
Now I gotta ask you too. Being a Hercules fan like you are, did you? And I have them here. Did you get all those 4-issue miniseries that Marvel put out back in the day? Hercules, the Prince of Power issues.
Later on, and I'll tell you why. Because I originally didn't go to LCSs. I would pick them up from the newsstands.
Right.
When the LCSs came closer to me and opened up, or I was old enough to actually walk to the LCS by myself. I started discovering that. So I didn't know any of that stuff. Like my favorite thing, like I had discovered one that was not that close to me, but my father would like this. I'll tell you a quick story about that. One of my favorite things that as a kid, like I would beg my father to take me to the comic shop because I discovered that there was one like maybe like 20 blocks away from us. But I was a little kid. I wasn't close. So he would literally say, "Okay, I'll take you there, but you got 5 minutes to go get whatever you want to come back out. Wait in the car, double park, New York.
Right.
I can't park." He was smoking a cigarette. He said, "By the time the cigarette's done, I want you back." And he would give me a couple bucks. I would run in and I would get as many Hulk Avenger books in that quarter bin as I possibly could. And my eyes were like playing on the new books that were there. But I'm like, I'm not going to buy those because they like if I buy those, I'm not going to buy as many.
Right.
So I wanted to
About
get
the
the quarter.
quantity.
And that was like the biggest like. And if I didn't get there before my father finished the cigarette, it would be like hell. So I had to be back fast. So I had like I was a fast digger. That's probably why I'm a fast digger now. If I go into a comic shop, I could go through a box real fast.
You got training.
I mean that statement could go in a lot of different ways, but it's a PG channel, so we're gonna leave it at that. The amount of stuff that I got, and I actually got Eternal books and New God books at that time with Jack Kirby's signatures at the bottom.
Wow.
That I discovered later on.
Like inside the ones when they used to do them inside the front cover and
Right,
on the bottom.
right on the front.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what they were until I got them. And then I'm like, somebody wrote on this. I'm thinking to myself as a kid, the hell, When I got a little older, I realized who it was. Unfortunately, those were part of the collection that went to another place in a far, far dimension. So, but that just quick story on that, because
no, it's an awesome story.
And that's where I discovered the Hercules. That's where I discovered some other books. Other than those super main titles, even X-Men, I couldn't find in newsstands. They were very hard to find. They didn't get them in the newsstands. Spider-Man was always in newsstands. Superman was always in newsstands. Hulk, Avengers, Captain America, always in newsstands. G.I. Joe was always in the newsstands for some reason or another. Savage Sword of Conan was in the newsstands.
Mm-hmm.
Not regular Conan, Savage Sword of Conan. The magazine format was always there.
Oh yeah,
Why?
I got
I don't know. It made no sense to me, but there was a certain select amount of issues. I guess they basically got the best sellers. They didn't want to be stuck with stuff. Even though back then they ripped them and whatever. But
right, anyway. When they rip the cover off and send them back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just send the covers back.
You know how many Hulks 180 and 181 I had like that? With the cover ripped off in my original collection, I had, I think, 180s like that, and 3-4 of them in 181 with the cover ripped off.
That was my job at one point when I worked at one of the stores. I was responsible for pulling the books off the newsstand and ripping the covers off and stuff. That was before I was a comic book collector, so it didn't hurt me as much as it does now when I think about it.
Yeah, now when you reflect on it, you realize what a beast you were, Rob.
That's right. All right.
I mean, for them, it's like the newspapers too. They would do the similar stuff with the newspapers. Like, they just want to get their money back. What's more valuable for them to sit on and feel bad about the books that they're going to mess up, or getting the money back?
All right, so we're going to get to your spec pick because I got to get Rob to another show here.
All right. Spec pick. I have said this a few times. I have said this a few times to people.
Oh yes, Amanda Connor,
but never on this channel. So I'm gonna bless your watchers with a spec pick that I think is extremely overlooked. This is a big book as far as
It's been reprinted a lot.
a lot. A
It's
lot.
I've never heard of this book.
Oh, dude, I swear the number of reprints on this, it's approaching like the same thing as a Killing Joke practically.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, so give us a little bit about this book, CJ.
So basically, you see this woman that's on the cover?
Yep.
See the title?
Yeah,
The Pro? Okay, you know what the Pro means? She's a whore. She's a whore that turns into a superhero.
Right.
Okay? And there's a lot of demented stuff that happen along the way. Just imagine in real life, some prostitute that's like sitting on the corner and like doing tricks and stuff like that, all of a sudden becomes like a superwoman. What do you think is going to happen in real life at that point? There's going to be a lot of craziness that's going to
Right.
happen.
Look at that creative team.
You know, and look at the guy that wrote it.
Yeah, and
Garth Ennis.
Yeah, along with Connors and Palmiotti. Oh man,
Double signed. This one is double signed, and they're pricey. They're not cheap.
now, was that a one shot, CJ,
One
or
shot.
was it a series?
This is a one shot, and why I think this is a great spec. I showed you guys the Pro before, which Ennis, by the way, has a good track record of getting his IP put on some kind of media. He's
Right.
really good at that. So Boys has already made it. Preacher was another series that made it as well. I have a strong belief that this will eventually be made, and it will be piggybacking The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Makes sense.
There's no news about it. There's no anything about it. I do know there's a cult following behind this beyond belief. There's been 8 printings of this comic so far.
I'm gonna have to seek it out and read it.
And there's one, and this is a book that nobody's ever heard of.
Well,
I mean, unless you know your stuff, nobody's heard of this book. No, it's
not a mainstream book, but
it's an anomaly kind of a book.
although recently they did do the Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti signing at CGC, and the custom label was with the Pro.
Ooh.
I didn't even realize that. If I knew, I would have sent out another copy. I don't do heavy spec. I don't buy multiple issues or anything. But anytime I find this at a really cheap price, I will pick it up, and I'll hoard it. And I look at it like this: even if I get stuck with them, even and nothing ever happens to them, you know what? I know a good collector that's really into like weird stories and stuff like that. I'll give them it, and they'll love it because it's one of those kind of stories that you read it, you scratch your head, you're like, do I like this? Do I hate this? This is weird. It's cool. I don't know what it is, but you like it and you want to keep it. It's that kind of a comic.
There, just because of you, CJ, I just bought a first print for $20 off eBay.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully, it's in good shape.
I just love Amanda Connor. Her stuff that she does is so great.
You're not going to get hurt with $20 on this. The cover price for this in the early '90s was $5.95. I mean, late '90s.
Right. I've never read it. I'm excited to give this a read. And knowing Ennis, it's going to be all sorts of twisted.
Oh, it's twisted. Trust me. You're a demented guy, so you're gonna like this. You're gonna like.
You already know.
You're definitely gonna like this.
I honestly could have said it sitting down today. I would not have expected the Pro to pop up on this show. Very good.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the show. You don't know what's going to appear on this show comic wise. It's fantastic.
The Goon. Nice. That would be another one you wouldn't expect to see very often come up.
That's for the next show.
Nice.
Well, that was awesome.
I gotta leave a teaser for you guys.
Your autobiography.
Yeah. Well.
I know. Well, we already got a book your next show, so we're going to do all those oddity books you're talking about.
Awesome.
We'll do a weirdo collection. I love the fact that they signed it in purple.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful book. I don't know. I just love this stuff. Like,
Awesome.
I don't know. Hopefully I shared something of me. You guys kind of get an idea of how I'm collecting and what I enjoy. a little bit how my brain works as far as speculation is concerned.
Oh, that was amazing, CJ.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that like here's the one piece of advice with the spec book I'm going to give everybody: don't go follow herds. Don't be another sheep and just like follow all the sheep. Use your brain and kind of go against the herd sometimes. Go the other way because there might be something there that's really cool that nobody's focusing on. Everybody likes to go after that shiny ball. Go for the one that's been sitting there in the corner
You
that
know,
everybody forgot about.
I heard
Yeah, I like to grab the oddballs too.
I heard a wise man once say that you should collect what you want and not listen to anybody else.
There you go. There you go. Somebody says that.
Yeah.
He also likes meat a lot, and I don't know.
I don't know. He's just some fat dude. Who knows?
Yeah, I think he's got a fat opinion too.
He likes to flaunt his stacks and stuff and show his meat. I don't know. There's some weird guy. I don't know.
I was not in that order. All right.
Actually, guys, I will give Rob a quick promo because before I really knew Rob reached out to me when I said his barbecue sauce looked good, and his kicking what's it called, the fuck you Rob sauce.
It's it's the fire sauce. FYR stands for fuck you, Rob. Yeah.
That stuff. I mean, I couldn't eat it all in one sitting, obviously, but that lasted quite a few meals. That stuff is straight burn your lips, burn your tongue, burn the inside of your mouth, burn your esophagus on the way down, and
But does
your
that
anus on the way
flavor?
out.
Does that have flavor? I
It's
hate hot
wonderful
sauce.
flavor. That's the
All right.
part that's crazy about it. It doesn't burn instantly. It's got a wonderful flavor that makes you want to eat more, which is just the worst because then you start tracking it as it burns through your intestines until it finally burns on the way out.
And that's the thing, CJ. There's no people always like, oh, I love this. It's so hot. There's no sense in eating something hot if there's no flavor to it. Then
That's
there's
my
no
point.
point
Yeah.
to it.
You know, the stuff that's like straight liquid heat.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you're drinking bad alcohol that tastes like rubbing alcohol.
What's the point?
All right,
What's the
so
point?
we're gonna go around the horn because we got to get Rob to his next show, and we're gonna see what's coming up next for everybody. So Rob, we'll lead out with you, buddy. What's going on with you this week?
Well, Thursday I'll have a video drop with another Fisk Comics mystery box. The last one I opened was pretty damn good.
It was.
And this one is even better. And then Saturday we have Nick's Kicks and Comics coming on Only Slabs. Then on Sunday and Monday, I'll be dropping. First on Sunday, I'll be just a con tour of the Berkeley Comic Show that I went to. And then on Monday will be the haul video.
Ooh.
The hall. That sounds really ominous.
Well, it's just filled with banger after banger after banger.
Uh-oh. We got to see this one.
Oh, it's gonna. I know Rob's got good hauls. That last box you got
Oh,
from
there
him
you go.
was really good.
Yeah, no, this next box that I open up on Thursday is even better from a value perspective. It's crazy.
That's why I said when he says it in that way, like the hall, like you know that there's something in there
That was
that,
it in my hands as I was passing it by. Was the
that you want to see.
And CJ, what's coming up for you, sir?
Actually, a lot. I mean, this is like a super, super busy week for me. I don't know how I end up working out like this. I end up doing a comic journey influences yesterday with Bronze Age Nerd, which was really good. I just got a confirmation, which I had to squeeze in last minute, for another one with Fire Guy Ryan, the guy that works with Comic Tom all the time, on Sunday, which is going to be interesting.
Nice,
Only time
refer
you
him
could.
to this show.
What's that?
Said refer your guests to this show.
No, not a problem. Jump on and put him on the spot. You know, it helps. I'll harass them, no problem. And following that's on the 12th, which is Sunday, and on the 14th, I have Gem Mint on the show as well. So
Nice.
we got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to be on Dracula Friday. I don't know what the hell he's going to do to me. He told me to come on there. And I'm going to be on the hunt to battling some guy dressed up in a blue dress. defending the intergender championship, and no, and who knows what else is going to happen from now until then. But busy week, really busy week.
Nice. Oh, good, man. Good to see you doing so well. 'Cause your channel's absolutely been popping in the last 6 months.
I don't know if it's well or I'm just a masochist. Like I got issues that I want to take on more things than I need to, but it's fun. It's been
Well,
really fun.
in the end, it's either this or hardcore drugs, and this is at least legal.
Well, this is a form of hardcore drugs, to be honest with you. Because sometimes when I finish the
Right.
Insomniac, I feel like I just like I
Sure.
finished
You
I
go to
don't know
work
what.
and everybody's like, "Oh, dude, are you on drugs?" And I go, "I might as well be."
And then coming up for me, we have Pocan Joe on another 10-1-1 this Thursday.
Nice.
Right. And then the week after, we'll have Durs on In the Hot Seat with the Usual Suspects. So we'll be kicking that show off with its new intro 2 Thursdays from now.
Oh, new intro. Hmm.
Yeah, so we got new stuff coming, fun stuff coming, a lot of great guests lined up. But as always, I want to thank first my co-host Rob because I love having co-hosts and Rob always adds a lot. Thank you, Rob, for always being there for me.
Mhm.
I want to thank my guest CJ for taking the time out of his busy schedule to come on the show. Thank you so much, CJ.
1 second, Gary. Thank you. Thank you for having me on,
And
Rob.
thank you to the audience for coming out,
Yep, and I was just going to say, and thank you to
except
the
for
chat.
Comic Bookworm.
Rob, thank you for taking the time to be on the panel with Gary asking me questions. And audience, thank you so much for enduring through my technical issues and my insanity. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. You've been warned. The thank you police will be watching.
Right.
That's it.
Yes. Thank you all. And for those of you catching on the rewind, also thank you. And if you haven't subscribed to either one of these gentlemen yet, their links are in the description below. Please go sub them up on the Instagram and the YouTube and show them a little bit of love and support. They both have great, varied content on their channels, and you won't be sorry. So please
Well,
go
we have
check them out.
content anyways.
And thank you again, all. And until next time, keep it casual.